All right, we are popping in live. I want to give you a quick preview of the brand new Notion for Creatives workshop. It's happening this Saturday, January the 14th, and it's going to be starting at noon Eastern. So if you're a writer, a blogger, a podcaster, if you're a coach, if you are a YouTuber, if you create courses, then this is for you. So back last year, about midway through the year, I was overwhelmed with all the different tech tools that me and my company was using. We had Slack for messages and Asana for projects and tasks, and I was creating outlines and workflowy, and I was using HubSpot for our sales CRM, and it's just all these tools. And I thought there's gotta be a simple way to do this inside of one tool. Because when you're constantly switching between softwares or you have all these tabs open, there is a lot of distractions. There's a lot of loss of productivity. And so I started using Notion. And since then, I've been able to eliminate a bunch of tech tools down to just one. And so this Saturday, I'm going to be talking about Notion for Creators. I'm going to give you a little bit of preview inside of my Notion here right now in this video. But what are we going to be talking about on this workshop? This workshop's going to last about 2.5 hours. It's going to have opportunity to ask questions. It's going to be held in Zoom. I'm going to have some little exercises for you to do if you've never used Notion before. We're going to have a little basic 101 tutorial in the beginning. And specifically, we're going to cover these things. How I replaced 7 tech tools with one, that's Notion. How do I use Notion for my social media templates and my workflow for putting out social media content on all the different platforms. Content creation and workflow, whether that is for my podcast, for YouTube videos, blog posts, emails that I write. I'm going to be showing how I use this tool and replaced HubSpot with Notion to keep track of anybody interested in my coaching program, Online Business Insider. And I'm able to make sure people don't fall through the cracks and setting all of that up. We're going to talk about how I handle all of my general task and project list. I was able to replace Asana and again, just work in Notion. And then finally create your own learning library. And this is like a second brain, helped me get rid of Evernote that I've been a long time user in to have all of my research in one place, which is great for writers, coaches, and speakers. So here's what we'll be covering. Session 1, we're going to be talking about management for creatives. This is me inside of my Notion. And just to give you a quick little preview, this looks very similar to what I used to use in Asana, a Kanban board where you can easily grab and move things through stages as you're working on things. You can assign them to other team members. You can be reminded of what you need to work on and more. So that's a little bit of preview of that. Another thing under management that I'm going to talk a little bit about that I think is important is creating a learning library. Now I use a product called Readwise, and this tool, Readwise, I have integrated into Notion so that I have all of my highlights from all the different books, whether those books were Kindle books that I read and I did highlights, or whether they were actual books where I did highlights in. So for example, finish this book, Never Go Back, excellent read from Henry Cloud. These are all of my kind of major highlights with the page numbers right in here from my research. I read on Kindle not too long ago, Building a Second Brain. All of my Kindle highlights are captured in one place. And what this allows me to do is I am able to do some quick research, a little bit of keyword research into my own second brain, and able to grab quotes, illustrations, studies, things that I can reference in my content, whether that's a blog, podcast, YouTube video, to help support me in what I'm doing. So I don't have to remember it all up here. So again, that's just a quick little look, but there's lots and lots of books, even book summaries. I have lots of stuff that is definitely stored in here, which is awesome for us creatives. All right, what's something else? Well, in session 2, I'm going to be talking about, and by the way, before I get into this, if you're already like, Jonathan, I'm in, here's what we're doing. So this Notion workshop is, I intentionally kept the cost low. It's only $15 for you to get access to the live 2.5-hour workshop. You'll also get the recordings. And we are limiting this, though, to just 100 people. We've already probably reached close to halfway point since I announced it yesterday. But that is because I want to make sure when we get to question and answer in each session that there's not too many people. So we're limiting this to just 100 people. I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this ever again, but and do this one time on this Saturday. You also get access to the recordings. So session 2, I'm going to talk about using Notion for marketing. So marketing for creatives inside of Notion. And there's some different things that you can do here just to give you a quick preview. One of them that's been particularly helpful for me is email marketing. So you want to always be building a relationship with your list, right? And so when I have ideas for emails I want to send, I can throw them on here on this board. I have to do, in progress, and complete. What's really interesting and cool about Notion is it allows you to take a database, and that's what this is. It's a database, and you could create different views. So here is a calendar view of my email marketing. I can also create a view that is by the certain types of emails I send. So I have a newsletter that goes out every single Monday. Wednesdays, I do a segmentation or interest-based email to find out what my audience is interested in. And then Fridays, I typically do some kind of a case study email. So that's a little bit in the email marketing. For you creatives out there, under marketing, I have my Market Your Message show, which is primarily a podcast, but it also, we convert it into YouTube videos, and we also do some blog posts from that content. And so what I have here is a simple template that I can follow, and I can duplicate this template over and over again in my creation process. You know, you have a creation process, and that's what I can do here with this, is I can simply duplicate this, name it. If it's a YouTube video, it's going to go here and then to a podcast, blog post workflow, on and on it goes. So that's just a obviously very fast preview of how a little bit of the marketing part. We're going to talk a lot more on Saturday. And then session 3, we're going to be talking about sales for creatives. So you probably, if you're a coach, you probably have either one-on-one coaching or maybe some group coaching programs that you want to enroll people into. But it's easy for people to get lost in the process, right? And to get lost in the stages, to fall through the cracks, as they say. Well, I have it set up in Notion. I use Calendly to book all of my discovery calls, people that are interested in finding out more about my insider coaching program. And when they schedule a call on Calendly, I have it set up so that all of their information, their email, their contact information, the answers to their question, all show up inside of Notion. And so without digging in too much to people's personal data, let me just hop over to the screen and show you just a high-level overview of what it looks like. So I've got my insider pipeline here. These are current roadmap calls that are scheduled that I'm going to have soon. These are people who I've talked to recently. These are people that I need to keep in the follow-up. These are, as people join, they go into the onboarding process. We have one person we're onboarding right now. Then they move into the newest insider, and on it goes. So this is a simple pipeline. And just to like open up a blank one, let's call this guy Bob Test. I can open this up, and you can see here, I can keep track of notes or what stage they're in, dates, if I want to remember to reach back out to Bob, everything I want. Keep notes from the call right here. I can expand this so that I can be working on this. So here's the roadmap, call notes that I have, and I could be taking notes while I'm on the call, so on and so forth. Again, this is just a quick overview of that process. So there's definitely a lot more that I'm going to be sharing on Saturday, but hopefully you've already begun. Oh, let me show one more I think would be of interest to some of you, specifically related to social media, and that is creating and having templates that you use. So one of the bonuses that I'm going to be giving to people who attend the workshop is some of my social media templates that I've collected from different sources. I've created some of my own. And so when I need inspiration for what to post on social media, I can come in here to like educate me, how to, and advice, and I can look through these templates that I've created, and let's say book recommendations. So here is a template I can use. Most writing books are a waste of time, or most, enter your topic here, whatever that is. Most finance books, if you're a finance blogger, are a waste of time. These aren't. Book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick these up, throw the rest away. Boom. I can throw that on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and I can quickly use these. So we'll be giving away some of these templates for free as well to make it just real simple, real easy for you to be able to be creative. And that's what this does. This gives me one tool to work in during the day, but I've got just enough structure to keep me focused, but I have a lot of creative freedom inside of Notion. So again, that's just a short little preview. If you are interested, while we still have spots available, it's happening this Saturday, limited to 100 people. Scroll down below, right in the description, and click on the link, jump in. $15, you get the access to the whole workshop, the recordings, and I'm going to throw in some of my Notion templates as well. All right, if you're in, we'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for watching this video.